Good morning, everyone. Today, CCNA Day 5, IP address lab and Ethernet technology, switching technologies. Okay, we discussed about the IP address, how to define IPv4 in a default or the classful structure. I'll show you how to assign an IP address to the computer. So let's say, hope you can see the screen, okay? Show the screen. Let me stop. Okay. Here there are a few Ethernet interface. You can see Ethernet 2. It's a logical interface for testing purpose. To get this network connections, you can do start run. From the run, you can do ncpa.cpl. ncpa.cpl is a shortcut key to reach to the network connections. Start run ncpa.cpl. So you can get the network connections window. Here, let's say we click Ethernet 2, then you need to click properties. Then you can see TCP IP v4. Here you can see IP address assignments. Either you can give automatically. When we mentioned auto, the computer will look into a DHCP server. DHCP server is the either it's a, we can configure in any device as a DHCP server like a router, switch, or the computer anywhere. Okay, we talk about more in later. So next, when you assign use the IP address by manually, then you can put the IP address. It automatically define your subnet mask, depends on the class. Let's say we discussed in between 1 to 127 are from class A, and 127 is specifically used for loopback testing purpose. So let's say if I'm going to give 50, then let's say my first computer, the moment if you give 50, then 1, 1, 1, my first computer, then just to click in subnet mask, you gonna get 255,000, which is class A. Okay. Then if you talk about something in class B, let's example 150. Okay. And 10. 150, 10, 7, 6. So in class B, the first two octet must be matched. If you click in subnet mask, you're going to get 255.255. So the first two octets should be same for all the remaining devices within the network. Okay. So anything in between 128 to 191 belongs to class B. Let's say I'm going to give Eptine IP again, then use the following IP. We can test for class C address. Example, let's say 200. It's 192. It starts from 192. So let's say 192, 168, 10.1. So irrespective of 160 or 10, the first octet is 192. That's defined the class C. So let's say if you click here, you can get the 255, 255, 255, 0. So instead, if I'm going to give 10.168, 168, 10.1. So instead of 192, I'm given 10 number, but the rest is same. So the first octet belongs to 10, which is in class A. So 255.0.0. Hope you understand. So this is the default structure. So if you assign IP schema within any of the classes, it automatically defined your respective subnet mask. Now let's say I have sent you one software. You need to download and install it. Let me show you the a small set of lab. This is that respective software. Okay, we have many options. So this is one of the simplest way to do the practical. On the bottom line, you can see a few devices. Okay, and hope you can see my screen and my mouse movement. So you can see routers, switches, cables or connections. Then the bottom you can see end devices. So let's say I click end device. You can see laptop and desktop. Let's say I just click in one of the needed devices. Just click it, drag to your window, and release it. So you get one device. We can see PC0. Hope you can see my screen. And the second computer, you can just click it. So you have two computers. Okay. So let me tell you how to assign an IP address to your computer. Okay. So the PC0, you just need to click a single click. So you're gonna get the next window. You can see the window now. Here there are, let me maximize. Okay, you can see the screen. You can turn it off and turn on the computer. Then on top, you can see the third button called desktop. Click that. There are many which we will be testing with two IP configuration, the first, and the command prompt, which is equivalent to CMD for testing purpose. Let's go to IP configuration. Okay. So prior to that, we can put the required IP schema in your screen. Hope you can see my screen. So in somewhere you can see on the right side, you can see place not. Click that place not and click wherever you want to type it. I'm going to type under the PC0. We put 192.168.10.1/24. Because of class C, the first three octets should be matched. So the second computer is 192.168.10.2. Hope you understand. So we haven't assigned IP address to the computer. This is just for to know what IP to be on each computers. Okay. So I have a two IP. Then now we need to assign. So what could be the first IP? 192.168.10.1 for the first computer. Okay. So I put just Control C. Okay. Open your desktop, the first computer. IP configuration. When you click IP configuration, you can see two window, DHCP and static, same as original computer. DHCP, when you mention DHCP, a system by itself will look into a server to get the IP address from there. And if the system, I mean, there is no DHCP or your computer doesn't reach to your DHCP server, it won't give you the right IP address. We'll talk about later on this. Let's say going to be give a static IP address. Either you can paste it 192.168.10.1. Then just you click in subnet mask, it give you the right subnet mask, which is the default class C subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and close it. So now your first computer IP has been assigned. Okay. If you put your mouse in front of your system, it will give you the IP address. Okay. Now we go to the PC1, second computer. Click, and you click desktop. Desktop, you can give you can see again IP configuration 10.2, second computer 255.255.255.0. Close it. Okay. let's say to communicate between these two computers should be centrally connected. That's the next topic for us. Generally, to connecting two devices, we have a plenty of options. Either we can directly patch one UTP copper cable between computer to computer, or now that's the hot topic, that's we going to use a switch. You can see when I click switch here, you can see many switches. Okay, let's say you have two type of switches, 2950, and even you can see 3560. You can see two model number, and the picture by itself is different. Okay, what's the difference in mainly? When you procure any switches, you need to know what is the functions that switch need to be performed. Basically, there are two: switching and routing. Switching, we call it as a layer 2. Routing, we call it as a layer 3. Okay. So what does it mean by layer 2 or switching? You will be able to communicate only within the same network, like 10.1 to 10.2. Let's say you have a something in different network and you wanted to communicate between them, then you must need a routing capable switch. Routing in the sense sending data from one network to another network. So if you have a two different network and need to send data between one network to another network, then of course you need a layer 3 switch. For us right now, we have a 10.1 and 10.2, two computer are in the same network. So we can use a layer 2 switch. Okay. Currently, a switch model is being changed in Cisco. Start with a 9200, 9300, 9400, and 9500. Let's say 9400, let's say 9500. So out of it, the 9200, 9300 is generally used for the access switch. What is access switch? Connecting your edge devices. And even sometime 9400 as well. 9500 is generally used for the core switch for routing purpose, intercommunication between different VLAN, different networks. But in a SMB business, small scale industries, we can use either 9300 or even 9400 as a core switch. It's something like the feature that needs to be make sure that it has been enabled. What is the feature? Routing capacity, sending data between different network. We have a detailed topic on it. Let's say I have a two computer connected here. Okay, so you can now the next task is to patch it to the switch. If you put your mouse on top of your switch, you can see the number of ports within the switch. It is from 1 to 24, and all of them are even down because we haven't patched any cable between them. Then you can see the switches are fast Ethernet. The fast Ethernet, which means it can provide 100 Mbps speed. Let's say you can see the connections. There are many cable you can see, and if you move your mouse towards to any cable, it will tell you what type of cable it is. Okay, let's say my mouse has been under the copper straight through cable, then the next is copper cross cable. So the straight cable in this software meant by any different devices to patch each other, different devices, like example computer with switch, then we're going to use straight cable. When you have a same devices, like example computer to computer or a switch to switch, then we're going to use a cross cable. But nowadays the copper cable can sense with either straight or copper, so we don't need to do differentiated between them. A single copper cable available in the market, which is called cat 6, cat 6a or cat 7, which is define the speed of that cable, can be connected in between same or different devices. Let's say we're going to connect here straight cable. You just click the straight cable, one click. Okay, then click to the PC. When you click the PC, it will show you what type of connection that you need. So you need to click fast Ethernet 0. Click that. Move your mouse towards to your switch. Click the switch. It will tell you which port we need to patch it. So move to the respective ports. Let's say wherever we want, we can patch it. So let's example, we're gonna patch it on fast Ethernet 01. So click that. So the cable is patched now. Okay. Go again to take it straight cable. Click the straight cable. Go to PC1. Click PC1. Then click fast Ethernet. Move your mouse towards to the switch. Click again switch. You cannot see fast Ethernet 0 because it's been patched already. Sorry, fast Ethernet 1 patched already. So you can go to fast Ethernet 2. Connected. Now, the two computers been patched between, PC to switch. Okay. It takes some time from orange to green. We'll let you know why it is. It's purely in switching classes. Okay. Now, your network has been patched, system patched to the switch. Okay. This has been under one network. Okay. We have one hot topic called VLAN, VLAN, virtual LAN. The LAN means making one network. Let's say 10.1 and 10.2 is one network. So let me, on the right side, you can see a draw table. Let's say I'm giving a draw table, draw, click, I'll put one draw. Okay. Then I'll mention it here, LAN 1. What do you mean by LAN 1? One network, which is 10.1 and 10.2, one network. In switching, as we have multiple network connecting into the same switch, like example, access control system, BMS system, Wi-Fi, data, telephone, many different network will be connecting into a same switch in a different ports. So we will make a multiple network. So this is, let's say we can call it as a data network. What is data network? Connecting PCs. Data network. Okay. I have a two computer connected to one network, which is name it as a data network. Okay. By default, any brand switch, any services switch like a layer 2, layer 3 switching, routing, any service level switches, or any brand like a Cisco, Huawei, HP, Aruba, Extreme, Havaya, whatsoever, any brand, Dell, anything. When you procure a switch without doing any configuration into a switch, the switch belongs to one network. So let's say this switch has 24 ports and all the 24 ports are belongs to one network by default. That's why we haven't configuring anything into the switch. We just procure one switch, connecting all your devices into the switch, making same sub network, giving different IP to the each computers, they're going to communicate. Okay, let's say I'm going to try to reach from one computer to another computer. How do we do reaching? The reachability testing by the protocol called ICMP. Okay, ICMP is a layer 3 protocol. ICMP has a two services. ICMP services in shortly. One is called ping. The other one is called tracer. If you do not want ping services, you can block it with the protocol through ICMP. Even with ping, we have multiple services like echo reply, something like this. We'll test it this reply. So the ping command is generally used to check the reachability to the other side of the systems or other side of the device. Let's say we made the network. Usually the network, these two computers being connected to the switch and made the network is for a user to use the system. Maybe this user will send some data to this user, or they're going to go to the internet to collect certain content. So for the user to communicate each other or to go to the somewhere outside, we made a network. But we cannot ask the user to do test by sending any data. Or when we do practical sessions, implementing, maybe the user was not there or user is not joined yet, something. So for us as a network engineer, we wanted to make sure we made the lab is correct or we made the real scenarios is perfect. So for that, what we do, we go to example from 192.168.10.1 PC0, we'll try to reach to 10.2. So how do we do to reach? We go to the PC0, we go to the command prompt, we do ping space 192.168.10.2. Okay. When I do 10.2, a 10.1 computer sending packet to 10.2, which is called echo, sending echo. Okay. And 10.2 are able to accept the echo or reachability is okay, then it will send back the confirmation, which is called echo reply. A 10.1, when sending a ping packet to 10.2, generally from 10.1 will come to know echo reply, either success or failure. By default, it sends 4. We'll try how it works. Hope you're getting my points. PC0 ഒന്ന് PC1ലേക്ക് പിങ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ എന്തിന് പിങ് ചെയ്യുന്നു? റീച്ചബിലിറ്റി ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ. എന്തിന് റീച്ചബിലിറ്റി ടെസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നു? Need to make sure we made the network is perfect. Okay, same as from 10.0 to 10.1, vice versa. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ 10.1 നിന്ന് 10.2ലേക്ക് പിങ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ അങ്ങോട്ട് പോകുന്ന പാക്കറ്റ് ഇക്കോ, തിരിച്ചു വരുന്ന പാക്കറ്റ് ഇക്കോ റിപ്ലൈ. നമുക്ക് സാധാരണ ഇക്കോ റിപ്ലൈ ആണ് കിട്ടാറ്. Okay, so let's say we go to PC0, we go to command prompt, we go to command prompt. Okay, how have taken command prompt? There is a command prompt. Hope you can see my screen. Okay, IP config, either capital or small letter. IP config. You can see that 10.1 is your IP and 10.2 is your neighbor IP. Let's say we do ping 192.168.10. Now you can get the reply from 10.2. Okay, which means a 10.1 sends 4 packets and 4 of them are received and 0 loss, which means 100% success. Okay, same way when you try from 10.2 back to 10.1, you must need to get this. And there are some error like destination host unreachable, request timed out, hardware failure. There are many which we can do during the troubleshooting sessions. Okay, with practical that we can try, inshallah.
One doubt. This packet means 4 octet, right? I mean, this is the four one we are using.
Come again.
The packet send equal to 4 means the
Four
four
packets.
packets.
Four
Four
packets are
packets.
sending. Yeah.
Okay.
Generally 4, but in network engine, what they do, a customer says that I have a delay in my communication. Packet is getting lost. Packet getting lost is a network engineer communication, but the customer says that maybe network is delay. I cannot send data, or I'm sending data, but the receiver is taking very long time. So something is not good. Okay. So how do we do troubleshoot? We do 192.168.10.2 space. There's a minus T. But the minus T is not recognized here. Let me check my computer. Okay. CMD. Random IP config. Okay, let me share my screen again. Can you see my screen now? Yeah. Okay, here what I'm gonna do, IP config. Okay, let me see which is my local connected network. 192.168. Let's say Ethernet adapter. 192.168.0.15. This is one of my computer IP. Okay, so let's say I do ping 192.168. 10.105.1. Let's say VMware 0.15. Okay, 168 0.105 ping. It's give you 4 packets by default. 4 of them are received. Or we have options to test it from the computer, say minus T. The minus T will give us a continuity packet until we stop. And we'll say that maybe the thousands of packets is getting delayed. Or the until 500, it's okay. Then it's getting lost. Something we need a proof to show whether it is really getting delayed from the network or the customer is simply saying something which is they may not know. So we need to educate them. Something we need to have a proof. So what we do, we'll try a ping from the computer by giving minus T. Now let's say I'm going to stop this. To stop this, we do control C. Let's say I do control C. Here you can see that we send 38 packets and all of them are received. So there is no loss. In switches, routers, firewall, we have another way of doing troubleshooting. We'll let you know how it is. But generally, the by default, it sends 4 packets. So we cannot ensure that by just sending 4 packets is everything is okay. We'll try do some continuity communication in a simple way to make sure things are perfect. Okay, fine. Now, when I say any brand, any switch, when you procure, this all belongs to one network, which is in technical terminology, we call it as a VLAN, virtual LAN. Why do we need a VLAN? Let's say we don't have options to define VLAN in any of the switch, in any vendor. VLAN is open. We can configure in any switches. Let's say we don't have options to configure VLAN. What is the problem? One switch belongs to one network. Let's say I have a 2 computer for one network. Okay, data. Then I have, let's say, two more computer. I have a two more computer to be connected for different network, for different team. Like example, this is for operations team, operations, and this is for maybe sales. I have a two different department and two of them require a two different network. And this network is, let something belongs to, let's say, entirely different 10.0.0.1, 10.0.0.1/8. Why 8? Because class A. How do you know class A? Because it starts with the 10. Let's say I have a two different computer to be connected to the network. Here in the switch, the one which I already connected, 192.168, the switch belongs to 192.168.10 network, and I have patched only two computer, and this switches belongs to 24 ports availability, and you can see only two up, the rest are down. So I have a plenty of free ports here, but I cannot connect the 10 network PC to the same switch of 192.168.10 because that switches belongs to that particular network. If I don't have a VLAN, I have only one option, that I have to procure another switch and connect my all other devices into another switch. Therefore, the VLAN came to the picture. What the VLAN says that make 10 and 2, 192.168.10 range computers under one VLAN, one different VLAN, and the 10 network is in a different VLAN. We can create VLAN from VLAN. There are total VLAN from VLAN 1 to 4094. Any VLAN number belongs to a new network. Let's say I define here VLAN 10, VLAN 10, and then I define here VLAN 20. When you create a VLAN, a particular VLAN number represents a particular different network. Okay. Once you created VLAN 10, these two ports, 192.168.2 computer, make them under VLAN 10, and 10 network VLAN make them under VLAN 20. So it belongs to different VLAN. So then it easily communicate. If you see my screen and see my mouse point, you can see that after link, you can see VLAN, and you can see that all the ports are belongs to VLAN 1. That is the default structure. Okay, which means all of them are under one VLAN, one network. If you're changing some of your ports from the switch to different VLAN, they will totally belongs to a different network. We have a VLAN from 1 to 94 to 4094, but you cannot create, delete, edit VLAN 1. That is default. If you want to do any of your own design, you always need to start from VLAN 2. And it doesn't have any, I mean, there is no restriction that's to you to create only a respective VLAN. You can do any VLANs. Like example, I've given 10 and 20. You can do 100 and 200, 110, any number. Do not make sure that do not given the same number for different networks. It can't be work. So what I was expecting from you just to understand that one switches respectively belongs to one network by manufacturing itself for any respective vendor because they are belongs to one VLAN, one network. When you need a multiple network, you need to create a multiple VLAN because in every organizations they have a CCTV, access control, BMS, and so on. So all of them are different network. So that we will be designed in a way that to make sure a different VLAN belongs to different network. We'll talk much about in the next sessions. Hope you understand. So the today task we just focusing on how to assign an IP, how to create an IP address. Okay, go through this video and do your own lab. I send you the lab, just click and install it. It's a free software, the beginning software. I can give you something higher version later on. While you do installation, let me know if you're facing any challenge and I can help you by taking remote or giving an instruction over the phone and so on. So clear?
One more thing,
Yeah.
you said VLAN. There is how many types of the VLAN? We can learn it in the next session, or
Yeah, we can learn it on the next session. I want you to do this practical.
oh, okay, okay,
And VLAN is less than 30-minute session. If you have a time, I can go through another session for 30 to 45 minutes to complete the VLAN sessions.
okay.
Any doubts?
So fine, fine.
Okay, fine, inshallah. Okay. So